Did you tweet or anything?
Okay, I can tweet right now.
Hello, everybody who's here. Jalen Harris, always here on time. I heard a subscription. That's Jalen Harris. Became game.
Feels good, doesn't it? Having the games flow through you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm feeling the games yet.
You can pass that to me if you want. I can play the game.
Alright, I just logged in to do the tweet. Here we go. Don't need soul. Put it that way.
I should probably, even before that, fix the stream information.
Faster.
It annoys me that this computer still has not. When I type in TWI, it still picks Twitter over Twitch. Why would they choose a website that has the fucking same three first letters?
Well, I'm sure they'll get right on fixing that now. It's probably because that browser's logged into my Firefox account, and I check Twitter outside of iGames far more than Twitch, for obvious reasons.
That would make sense.
Jalen Harris just cheered 1,600 bits.
Hey, that's like $16, right?
I believe so.
Thanks for the...
That's impressive.
Well, he was trying to beat out Toya, who had cheered $15 last stream.
God, let me get off the... Alright, fighting this game is actually hard.
Jalen, where do you get your money from? What do you do? Just out of curiosity, because I know what Toya does. This is definitely not a GameCube. What should we call the stream?
The I don't know stream, because we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
I titled it Witching It Up.
Cool.
Because your name is stupid.
When they come, I'll tend to them. Meanwhile,
Let's put this girl's tits in
like
my
to
fucking picture.
John Verdon.
Oh, hey, gozai, Mark!
Mark is here.
The army don't exist no more. Blackmore smashed it to bits. I scarpered off into the woods just for that. As soon as they learned I'd abandoned Temeria in her hour of need, they beat me down. Tied me up like a turkey.
Based is not a Zoomer thing. I say things are based.
Yeah, I don't know how that would even be considered a Zoom thing.
As far as I know, Lil B the Based God is the one who popularized Based.
Thanks. For a minute there, I was almost sure
Yeah.
you'd leave me to die. I'd like to thank you somehow, but I'm not a chip crown to my name.
Tough. I'll take the loss.
Thanks, Witcher. May you prosper on the path.
Alright, I have tweeted.
Save screenshot.
Now I'm gonna go do retweets.
Get some guts. Oh, there's two.
I quote tweeted that shit. I said if 53 videos weren't enough, now I'm streaming. Shall I retweet it on your account as well?
Yeah, go for it.
Which one is it? Is it the Proton Mail one?
No, just the one without an email. Yeah, it annoys me that they cut them all off. But can't fix it. Yes, I've murdered monsters and dogs. I'm the greatest man who ever lived.
I am the greatest man that ever lived. What are your thoughts on the art direction of the new Pokemon games?
Looks cool.
We might do a podcast about it. Because, I don't know, do you think you have enough to say to justify such a thing?
Sure.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, so I'll have to watch it, but definitely not happening tonight, because I'm going to pass the fuck out as soon as the stream is over. I'm on my last legs.
I'm not thinking too about being on last legs, let me tell you.
Yeah. Tom's not on any legs.
Yeah, he's on half a leg.
MRI tomorrow, finally.
CM398 says, I don't care that much about Pokemon, but these are the worst starters yet. IMO? No way. I think they're pretty good. I don't dislike any of them. There's a lot of starters I dislike. They're all better than Litten.
Real talk.
I like the bunny. Did you guys see the psychic brain blast somebody had of realizing that the bunny is wearing heating pads?
Oh, shit.
Like, it looks like kind of like people thought it was a band-aid on the nose, but there's also ones on each of its feet. Anywhere that there is a pad on the body of a bunny, it is, instead of a padded foot, a literal heating pad. Which apparently that's just how they look in Japan, so it makes more sense. You said you would start focusing more on the main channel again. How much will you still focus on IM games on the side? Don't listen to anything I ever say about what I'm planning to do. Just don't even listen to me at all. Because it will never... whatever I plan doesn't matter. I'm just going to do whatever I feel like doing. I have no self-control, no self-discipline at all.
Hey there.
Okay, it's really freaking me out because whatever the song is playing in this game has this sound that goes like blue, 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 and it sounds exactly the same as a song I was just listening to downstairs. And so it keeps fucking with my head because I think I'm hearing my computer downstairs playing music, but then I realize it's the game. It's fucking mega weird. It's a Koltar of the Deepers song that it sounds like. I have not seen the leaked possible concept art of the bunny's evolution, but I would not believe it was real at all until I saw evidence. Mime thinks it's more like the Bitcher P wild sex. So why are you playing this game specifically? Tom just happened to be playing it the other day, and we could not come up with an idea for what to play on this game stream. Straight up. We were just like, I don't know what to do. Let's just continue the game that's already in the PS4.
Pretty much.
Brave warrior looks like. Great boy. What's the point of having two swords?
Wonder if he keeps an extra prick in his trousers too.
You fucking deaf. You gonna say who you are? Or do I need to loosen your tongue with me knife?
How about I buy everybody around?
Does my brain melt after doing so many rants?
Simple as that.
Only insofar as I stayed up all night to do it, so now my brain is melted. Definitely the process of, like, rendering and uploading them all and giving them all thumbnails, which is, like, all I've done all day. Aside from going to the post office to mail the care pack. Like, about 4 straight hours today was just me watching meters fill up. Just like putting a rant taking one of the videos, the clips, you know, that I'd filmed, putting it into Vegas, cutting the beginning and ending, and rendering it. And then while that's happening, hand-breaking all of the videos that had to go into the care package. And then copying all of the care package videos onto flash drives. All of these are just watching meters go up and uploading the videos to YouTube. So at times there were 4 meters filling on screen at a time. And I'm just waiting between these like 2-minute to 7-minute bursts of whatever meter is filling while listening to Who Are These Podcasts. Tom, have you beaten this game before?
No, but I got very close. I was a victim of playing it originally on PC on GOG, which doesn't have a cloud sync like Steam does, and I found that out the hard way when my last computer died.
Oh,
took out
shit.
the save, and I lost like an 80-hour save file. I'm like, well, it'll be a while before I attempt this again. It's a third RPG that I've gotten fucked on saves without. First one was Final Fantasy IX and Chrono Cross. Not this one.
Have you played any of the other Witchers?
With Witcher 2. I actually enjoyed more than this game.
Yeah, I know Witcher 2 is supposed to have a more interesting plot than 3.
Witcher 2 is a better story. It's not an open world, so it's not filled with tons of empty horseback riding. And it has Yorvith, the coolest motherfucker of all. And I can't believe they didn't put him in this game, because he was fucking awesome. He was this one-eyed elf who had a gang of people follow him, and he just hated humans. He was super racist against them and wanted them all dead. It's great.
Lately, Shade has been streaming The Witcher 1 and just basically on the conceit that it is terrible. He's like, yeah, this game really sucks. Watch me play it.
Yeah, 1 is not great, from what I understand. That's why I didn't start with 1, I started with 2.
Most of my overall knowledge of the Witcher franchise, my knowledge of 2 basically just comes from when Mr. B-Tongue talked about the story one time. And then my knowledge of the franchise as a whole largely comes from when Super Bunny Hop did like in-depth videos on all of them. So I don't really know anything about them except for what Super Bunny Hop has told me.
There's not a ton to know.
And that the, you know, Yahtzee's review of the first game is where the Memorpager phrase comes from. Wait a second. This is a Memorpager. This is my Yahtzee Croshaw, apparently. Hi everybody, I'm Yahtzee Croshaw. Geralt is so hot, OMG.
Cool.
Who else uses Anime2? I can't believe there is an app that just lets you pirate anime. I mean, I assume that probably a bunch of those streaming sites probably have apps, right?
Probably.
I'm currently my anime streaming site of choice is twist.moe, which is a sort of an underground, higher quality place. They don't have the best selection of any of the sites, but the videos autoplay and they will play through like a whole set. There's no ads or bullshit. It's but all the videos are high quality. There's no options. It's just, it does take a little bit longer to load than some of the other sites, but you can guarantee that you're going to be watching like the, you know, like the highest possible quality upload. But when I can't find something there, the key, if you're using any of those sites like 9anime or whatever that have like multiple servers, choose the MP4 upload one. MP4 upload is always the highest quality one that they've got. Mime Think says the starters look straight up garbaggio. They don't look like Pokemon, and unlike with Ultra Beast and the man-made designs, it doesn't seem to be intentional. They all have this shitty bobblehead chibi design that makes them all look the same. I have no idea how their designs could have been fucked up this bad when Gen 6 and 7 had some of the best designs in the series. I don't know about 7 having some of the best designs in the series. I don't particularly care for Litten's design, but I don't know what you mean by they don't look like Pokemon. They definitely look like Pokemon. Like, if I saw one of them completely out of context, I would assume it was a Pokemon. I do agree that they all are a little samey with each other, but like, you know, I think they're pretty fine. I mean, when you just look at like the concept art of a Pokemon, they tend to look a little bit more simplified than how they actually look when they're like being drawn in a more stylized fashion. But I don't know. I haven't studied them or anything. None of them strikes me as like the best starter design, which is Bulbasaur. But Ningen with attitude says you offered them a drink and that led to a fight. Seems legit.
Yeah. I didn't tell them I was gonna go to Novigrad though.
Apparently you get Witcher 1 for free on GOG if you download Gwent.
Interesting.
Have you trademarked the word Garbaggio yet? I think that word has existed before I used it, but you know. I don't think I'm the first person to say something is Garbaggio.
Says Garbaggio.
Yeah, I've definitely heard it before. I don't even know if I find in that particular video, I don't know if the Garbaggio is as funny as the Garbage! Like, I think the Garbage is really the sell moment. Your phone is ringing, dog. It's from your hometown.
No, it's fucking doctors again. Hello? Confirming appointments and shit. Like, so many fucking appointments.
Jalen Harris says, Digi, if I told you to watch DBS Brawley and rant about it next month, would you do it? Probably not. I mean, maybe I'd give it a shot. I'll drop it if it's boring. I rant about subjects, but I don't necessarily give them a fair shake. I just, you know, consume enough to have something to say. Alton Williams 39 says, not a fan of the combat of this game.
It's not great.
Funny Bunny 581 says, Tom, I DM'd you the stream key for Breach.
Cool.
Did we ever find out what Breach is?
I didn't. But it looked cool.
Neither of us has any idea what the hell Breach even is.
Damn, she's way stronger than I just realized. 15 versus level 4.
People keep making fun of me because I say Brawly instead of Broly. How do you say it?
I said Brawly, but then I found out it was Broly, so I started trying to say that.
I've been hearing people say Brawly since I was a kid, but I've never actually seen any of the movies with him in them.
What if I just want this? Damn, I'm not doing anything.
I did watch the new Matthew Matosa's Zelda video, and it was great. I truly think Matthew Matosis has reached like a transcendent depth of like perspective when he talks about a game. Like, he has this way of just managing to peel back all of the layers and almost put himself into the headspace of a developer and be like, okay, why would this decision be made? What other decisions could have been made? You know, could any of the decisions that could have been made enhance this experience, you know? And then to just even explain like concepts like intrinsic versus extrinsic reward and like ways that the game explores each of these and how it could have done one or the other better, and you know, it's fucking juicy. It's like he thinks of it, he pairs the game so far back all the way to like the foundation of it and analyzes that. It's good shit.
That's it, Roach.
Come on now.
You guys plan on getting the open beta of Division 2?
Is that a thing?
I don't even know anything about the Division.
It's a live service game.
Faster.
I feel like you probably just have bad things to say about it. And if it's a free open beta, then you can try it. Fuck it.
Buck Norris says, Tom, we have your new cyborg leg.
Where is it? Been waiting all
Send
day.
it to the P.O. box.
These guys.
What's on your mind?
This guy says that Brawly is named after broccoli, so he definitely is Brawly as far as I'm concerned.
He's such a bro.
I mean, I understand that in Japanese that would be Burokori, so Burori,
Faster.
but we don't say Burori, so I'm not saying Broly. He's Brawly. Now I feel justified. You fucked up. You've made me feel justified, and now I'm never gonna say it correctly. What difficulty did you set the game to?
Take it easy.
It's just set to normal right now.
How do you feel about the voice acting in this game?
Oh, it's fine.
Do you think the new Pokemon anime will still use Ash as a protagonist? Yeah, I would say so. I don't see any reason to change it up.
There's a new, they're like restarting everything.
I don't know. I mean, Sun and Moon basically did that. Like, Sun and Moon, Ash doesn't have any companions. It takes place in pretty much one location. There's way more relevant characters. So, like, that already felt like and like, the art style's totally different. So, that already felt like a pretty hard reboot. If they rebooted again for the next generation, I don't see any reason they wouldn't just do the same thing.
Be gone. Leave me be, whoever you is.
Digi, can you stop trying to say rant wormhole? Because every time you say wormhole, it makes me uncomfortable. Please learn how to pronounce words. No, the joke is that it's a pun. The joke is that I leave the rant hole because it's too cold, so I go to the rant warm hole where it's warm. So it's a pun. Rant wormhole.
Restored. I'll not forget that ever.
Pajoro did a bitter thorn says, "Oh, play Warframe." You were playing it.
I was playing Warframe. Could play Warframe.
Supposed to live in this village.
It's just one of those, it's basically Destiny, but free.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I mean, the game was really successful, but it's one of those weird things where nobody talks about it because I guess just people don't talk about free games. But I don't know. It seemed like it was like a fully fledged game that was just as good as. I guess it doesn't have the art design of Destiny, but. Do you watch Nero? Yeah, he's great.
The sun
I don't remember this part of the game.
and the dusk went crimson like blood. Thought to myself, strange.
Your Patreon grew a lot after the Sad Boy video. Was this your plan all along? No. I honestly did not see that coming, but it was a pleasant surprise. I even, like, the reason I put all those like, this video is intended as a joke notes all over it was because I didn't want people to, like, think I was in a bad situation. Like, I wanted to highlight all of the negative aspects of the career as a way of saying fuck you to the guy who was, like, saying, oh, all these YouTube stars must be millionaires. And I was like, no, get fucked. But, like, I don't want to portray myself as somebody who's in, like, a really bad situation, because as bad as I can make it sound, it's, you know, it's not as bad as a legitimately bad situation, you know? So, didn't matter. People still, I guess, thought it sounded sad boy enough that they were like, we gotta pay this guy. Teammate Thing says, oh god, I'm already getting old and cranky about Pokemon. Fuck, Jesse was right, it happened to me, and it'll happen to you. He did say that, doesn't he, in the Pokemon video? It'll happen to you. Speaking of Garbodor, literally Garbaggio. People are speculating that the next Xbox will be a gaming PC because the head of Microsoft said they're focused on PC gaming at next E3, and there has been an update with recent Windows 10 build to have native support for Xbox games. Whoa. For regular Xbox games, I'm down for that.
I mean, I figured they would do that eventually. I think it's a good move.
You in that hut when they rode off?
No, I'll not set foot there. Never.
Farewell, and peace of mind to you.
Something just happened in this video game. That was the nice thing about Warframe. I think with Warframe you can just turn your brain off, and you're literally just like, this gun makes a nice sound.
Yeah, you move fast.
And that's the game.
Tortured him.
Copx Digiboy says, is the YouTube channel going to be exclusively podcasts from now on? The podcasts seem to be doing so well. Not exclusively, but, you know, I'm just not prioritizing edited videos right now because, it don't make me no money.
Maybe hid something in his jerkin.
And yeah, the podcasts pull the same numbers, so it's not exactly a great incentive to actually edit videos.
Boots. Blood. Congealed.
Really Tired says, I bought my Switch today. It was the first console I bought for myself. That was how I felt about the Wii U. It was very gratifying. And then the Wii U fucking tanked, and now it's depressing.
First console I bought for myself was probably the PSP.
Copex Digiboy asks, is the Splatoon video still coming, Tom?
Yeah, it is.
Oh shit,
I just have to
that's a
record.
hard promise right there. How long is it gonna be?
Like
There's space under this rubble.
it makes one
Guess
point
I should do
that's
some
it.
cleaning.
In a master class.
Is Pokemon the only good long-running franchise? No. I mean, even within video games, Zelda, Mario, fucking... those have been running for much longer than Pokemon, in fact. What's another good franchise that's still good after a long time?
Interesting.
Most comic books are still pretty good.
I'm thinking video games.
Just in terms of video game.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Pokemon, Mario, Zelda.
Basically everything Nintendo's done. They haven't really fucked anything up too bad.
A lot of their games aren't really still coming out, though.
Sure, but all the ones that are not bad.
Yeah.
A ledger. Payment for a sack of grain. Amount due for a charcoal shipment. Henry was masquerading as a merchant.
Did you often say if IM Games get successful, you'd gladly focus more on it, but I'm curious what it being successful means. Like, where's the bar? As successful as your main channel? Not so high, but close enough? Just curious. Basically, if there was, like, measurable, consistent growth and or, like consistent, view counts that were comparable to my main channel, or even the After Dark channel. Like, I can shit out a vlog on After Dark about nothing and get more views than an I Am Games edited video. You know, like, they get very few views compared to what I can get on other places. And, like, you know, there's part of me that's tempted to just, like, upload some of them to the main channel or the After Dark just to see if they would do better. Like, I don't know if it's just that not enough people are willing to subscribe to another channel, or if it's that people don't care about these games that we're talking about. Like, it's hard to know what exactly is the issue, you know? But, like, there's just hasn't been, nothing we've done there has had, like, numbers that are enough that it justifies the amount of time it takes to work on the channel. It would be different if it was how I actually envisioned it in the first place, because, like, when we started it, like, with the Spider-Man video, the 2 Spider-Man videos, is, like, basically what I thought we would always be doing, is, like, big new relevant game comes out, we play it on stream in, like, the span of a week, and then I do as many videos as I can about it. But, like, big video games don't necessarily come out that often, and definitely not ones that we're going to enjoy or, like, want to spend money on and play. So, like, eventually it became, okay, well, now I just, if I'm going to do a games analysis and we don't have any obvious choices, then, fuck it, I'll just do whatever. But that, you know, doesn't have the same guaranteed results. So, you know, it's just like an ill-conceived venture from the outset, basically.
It feels like one of those things you're probably gonna just have to brute force and just, like, yeah, we're gonna have to do better content without the reward in the beginning to kind of, like, get the ball
right.
rolling.
And, like, that's kind of what I was trying to do for those last few months, but, like, it just wasn't taking off fast enough for the amount of time I'm putting in, because, like, just, if you want to do that, like, if this was a new channel that was the only channel I had, like, if I was building this up as though it were the start of my career, it would be dead easy to dedicate that amount of time to it, and the amount of growth it's had so far would be really promising. But, like, if I work on I Am Games, that's time I'm taking away from my other shit I have to do, you know, and, like, that stuff is extremely profitable, so there's just no way to justify working on this project. It would be different if I was living, like, once we move and, like, I don't have to, you know, rely on making as much money as I do now, you know, or after I've paid off my debts and shit, like, it'll be a lot easier to just, like, do whatever the hell I want. Like, right now I'm kind of obligated to make a certain amount of money, and so taking risks on ventures that might pay off in the long run or might not is a lot scarier at the moment, you know? Am I gonna do the 2019 anime cipher? Probably. I might write it when I'm in LA. I don't know if I told you, we're leaving on... What day are we leaving, Mark? So next Thursday, we're going to be flying to LA for a week. So you're gonna have to do, like, 3 I Am Games without us, probably.
We'll be back by the 12th.
Oh, we will? Alright, then just 2. Warframe has ridiculous amounts of bloom and lens flares. It's pretty fun, but kind of hard to look at. Protoculturati says, yeah, don't visit the Twitter of people whose work you like, because it more often than not will make you hate them in 2019, like Mike Toole. For what it's worth, I don't know anything about Mike Toole. Like, all I really knew about him is that he is an anime writer of some import. And, like, I think we started, May started following him because she was following basically everyone on Annie Twitter. And he lives in Boston, and we were moving here, so we thought it'd be cool if we ended up, like, meeting him or something, but then we realize he's a total douchebag and a weird SJW. So, you know, it's not like some hero of mine or anything that I'm disappointed to learn is a douchebag. I really didn't know anything about him. But, it is true. There are people who you might love their work, and like Film Crit Hulk is a perfect example of somebody who I fucking love his writing, but his social politics are baffling to me. So I cannot follow him on Twitter. Not that I think he's like an idiot or anything, but he's just such a bleeding heart.
His film crits are the Hulk, but his social policies the Bruce Banner.
Did you bought the Wii U long after it was dead? That is not true. I bought the Wii U when it was like brand new. I bought a second one later on because me and Victor went halfsies on the Wii U back when it came out. We got the Wind Waker HD one when that released.
Hey there.
Man, this is fun.
Keyblade says actively refuses to let the Japanese pronunciation of broccoli inform how he says brawly, yet pronounces the name Gene like Gene cause my accuracy, even though it sounds mad gay. I don't know what use of the name Gene you've heard me say. I've never heard I don't know any character who I naturally called Jin, who I knew as Jin at any point. Like if I think of Samurai Champloo, in the commercial, it's like Mugen, Jin, and Fu. Shigada Samurai Champloo. I did that backwards.
Too many old swords.
Have you played any Super Robot Wars games? I have. I played a little bit of Super Robot Wars J to X, I think, for the GBA. I wrote a blog post about my experience, and then I think I only played like an hour, and I thought it was cool. I just didn't end up playing any more of it, because I used to have this curse where if I wrote about something, I would immediately quit. Like, whether it be anime, video games, whatever, once I've had the satisfaction of writing about it, I no longer care to consume it anymore. For instance, my video, Why One Piece Works So Well, I read 160 chapters of One Piece, wrote that video, and then read no more One Piece. Are you still into music, Digi? You don't talk about it as much. I mean, I don't think you can stop being into music, but, for one thing, people tend to not care when I talk about music, but, more importantly, through the month of February, all I've been doing is Finish or Fail, so I have not had any time to listen to music.
You ain't safe unless you got a Gabrielle. The auto-crank one-handed Gabrielle ensures you get the first shot and the last word.
Tom, do you want me to just DM you every time I get extra Steam keys? If you don't want them, you could do giveaways to increase viewer interaction.
Sure. It works for me. You have a better chance getting a hold of me about it anyway than Digi.
Oh yeah. Endlessly better chance. DG and Tom, how awful is it to have debt? What kind of a feeling is it? It's a feeling like you can't believe any of your money belongs to you.
Because it doesn't, technically.
Like, you look at it and you just think, sure, it's comforting to have this in my bank because it means that if anything goes wrong, I have this money here. But this money does not belong to me. And any frivolous spending I do is me actively making what feels like an incorrect choice, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of hanging over your head. It's like you never forget that it's there. Did you, with the inclusion of Mark to the streams, should I call you demi-gay or a demi-fag? Whatever you want, bro.
Need to get so out to 5.
Do you ever get sick of people asking questions? Only if it's the same questions they've asked before. I'm somebody who used to, like, literally sit around and think about how I would answer interview questions in my spare time. Like, even back when I was a teenager, like, I've always been obsessed with the idea of getting interviewed. So, if any, like, on a show like this, I want you to ask questions because I don't always have something to talk about. Like, literally, all I did in February is watch anime. That's it. Not a single other fucking thing happened, aside from, like, Valentine's Day. Other than that, it was purely May and I on the couch, marathoning shit for Finish or Fail non-stop until it was done, and then I made the top 15 video, and then about 53 rants and a care package, and that's it. So, like, if I had to pull from my own thoughts and experiences, there's nothing to talk about, because everything I did in February has been represented in a video. So, like, if you guys weren't asking questions, we would probably be sitting here in silence, because I'd ask Tom, what have you been up to? And he'd be like, oh, you know, going to the doctors and sleeping. And he'd be like, what are you up to? And I'm like, oh, you know, watching anime constantly. And then we'd just sit here silently.
Yeah, pretty much. It's fucking great.
Do you regret falling for the Wii U hype? Now you're going to have to spend a lot of money on a Switch. I wouldn't say I fell for the hype. I legitimately like the Wii U. I think it is a great console, and it had some really great games on it. They just marketed it badly. You know, I wasn't sold on the Switch until now. It's starting to have more games on it. You know, the Pokemon game's going to come out on the Switch, so we have to get one at this point. Somebody will ask, what of Film Crit Hulk's writing do you recommend reading? Definitely read his post on Tangible Details and The Mystery Box. Those are two that are deeply important to the way that I talk about media. Because Tangible Details basically talks about, like, why the average consumer is, like, basically so wrong about why things are bad. Because they tend to fixate on something that's easily recognizable. Whether it really has that much to do with, like, why the product is bad or not. Like, it's just that it's some element they can easily latch onto, as opposed to the deeper things that are harder to talk about or harder to, like, parse or recognize, you know? And then the Mystery Box one is about the J.J. Abrams style of writing, where it's all about just withholding information and creating this sense that you need to consume something to figure out what is the mystery, and how, like, oftentimes the stories are totally vapid up until the moment of reveal. And I like that one a lot too. By the end of reading those two articles, you'll know whether or not you want to just binge the rest of his shit, because articles are long as fuck. Hey, did you? What happened to the dude that was making you a sword? I don't know.
I think he's still making the swords.
We'll stream the Halo games one day. We did
Streamed a couple of them, right?
we did a bunch of SPV3. I don't think we've done any others. I would love to stream the Halo games. I think Right, because when we did SPV3, we couldn't play multiplayer because it is single player version 3. We should do Halo. We should fucking do a co-op Halo stream sometime. It would be really hard to read chat though, but we could have Mark on chat duty or something. Did you decide whether you'd make a video on Prime? I definitely intend to make a video about Metroid Prime. I'm probably going to play through the whole game again because I really want to get good. I want to play it from I want to review it from the perspective of somebody who has getted good at it. Lol, the Curse of Ava guy is mad as shit at your rant. Well, that's not surprising.
He literally said in your Discord he was just gonna have you watch and review his videos because it gets attention.
Yeah, like
It's like you're playing Backfire. Like,
I don't know what he expected.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows that I generally disagree with him on most shit and think he is boring. It just so happened that I, saw eye to eye with him about the Lolicon video, but that's because it was basically just a presentation of facts in a very ordered manner, whereas the Ava one, I just disagree with the conceit and also don't care. Giggix sounds like a sped up and British Patrick Star, except on his more sincere and sentimental videos. On those, he just sounds like regular Patrick. Alright, that's pretty fucking funny. Digi, will you ever have time for any more pub crawl? It's not me who is withholding the pub crawl. Cider's the one who doesn't have time for the pub crawl. What is some of the best marketing you've seen for media? Can you think of any great marketing? Pop Team Epic?
Do I look like a dairy maid to you? No, miss, but you know things. 'Tis our
I don't know, I can't think right now.
mother left in the village.
Did Tome get any cool drugs prescribed to him?
No. They put me on a steroid taper, but that didn't do
I shall
anything,
give
so
you herbs.
it's gone
Mix them
then.
with water drawn from the spring at midnight, then make the cow drink them. But first, you must
How do you feel about the overall death of vlogs? Is it annoying that you're basically stuck with the video format forever since you want to make some money off of it? Yeah.
I've had my fill for the day. Go home.
I would be so much more productive if I didn't have to make videos to get attention. Because I hate making videos.
She's in a family.
People just fucking read shit. God.
Is the GameCube your favorite game system? I don't know. It's the one that I have the most, experience with, because the age when I was, the most into video games, that was, the console that we had. I don't think it has probably nearly as many great games as the PS2 does, because the PS2 just has a crazy fucking library.
Nothing special.
I think the GameCube's a better console than the PS2, but,
Whoa,
at the
whoa,
end of the
whoa,
day,
whoa,
games library
whoa,
is what matters.
Whoa.
You don't think hardware-wise the GameCube's better than the PS2?
It might be more powerful, technically, but it also was incredibly proprietary and had super anti-consumer features that prevented mass adoption.
What was the anti-consumer feature?
By not using a standard DVD drive, they made making games for the GameCube prohibitively harder because they had working with half the space.
Alright, well, that's a developer problem, not a consumer problem.
But
per
it
se.
trickles down to you. You didn't
Well,
get as many great games.
Sure, but I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that, ultimately what matters is how many great games you get, which is why the PS2 is better, is a better console experience, but as, raw being a good console in itself.
I don't know. I would think the number one function of a console is to host games. And if
I
you make
suppose.
hardware choices that prevent games from being made for your console, can you really be a better console from a hardware perspective?
I don't know. I mean, I thought the PS3 was the best console of that generation by far, and it had the same problems.
It had a lot of good features, but at the end of the day, like, the Cell was a great idea. It just was so hard for developers to use that it kind of fucked them over. Meanwhile, the Microsoft hilariously made like the largest purchase of Power Macs in the entire history of Apple because they needed them to develop the 360 because the 360 was essentially a fucking G5 Power Mac on the inside.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, that's pretty funny because they were running on the same architecture, the Power PC chips from back in the day.
Nothing special.
Search.
Would you like to have long hair again? Are you afraid you'll ever go bald? I do not want long hair because it's a huge fucking pain in the ass. Anytime it gets to a certain length, like probably when summer comes around and I start getting hot and sweaty, I'll probably end up cutting a lot of it off again. Generally, I usually cut my hair whenever it starts clogging the drain. That's when I'm like, all right, this is in the way. But am I afraid I'll ever go bald? I don't know. I don't really feel like I'm showing signs of balding yet in the way that my brother Victor is. But my dad is, you know, is pretty bald. I mean, he shaves his head, so it's not like he's completely bald. But like, you know, he developed male pattern baldness, so I have some risk. Although I think your baldness factor comes from your mom's side, and I think my granddad still has hair. My biological granddad, who I just recently found out about the existence of. Have you heard of a game analysis channel called Writing in Games? I have not. That lady got weird boobs? Is there a lady with weird boobs?
You're a lady with
I don't know.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure I can fuck her.
Magic users in this setting are ridiculously powerful most of the time, at least the ones they show in the games.
Yeah, Magic's pretty OP in The Witcher. I mean, you use like baby magic, and even you can fucking wreck shit.
Digi, I'm watching one of your rant videos right now, and you talk about watching Curse of Evangelion on 2x speed. Do you watch a lot of YouTube videos at 2x speed? Almost never. I only do it if they're boring, and normally I wouldn't watch a boring video, but if there's some reason I feel I have to, such as somebody wants me to rant about it. Oh, dude, we just saw tits.
Yeah, dude, there's tits in this game.
Holy shit, can we show this on Twitch?
No.
Will this get blocked on YouTube?
Probably.
Dude, real tits.
I don't know if they're the real tits.
They don't look that great, to be honest. They are severely lacking in, like,
She's like B.
buoyancy or vibrance.
She's like a B rank character in this game anyway. She's just some whore you can fuck. She's not one of the real people. Oh, there she is.
Her tits look better clothed. Especially with that little nip slip.
I can assure you I do. Now more than ever.
You can fuck her and kill her. You can do both. I know because I did. My last playthrough. I think it was this character.
I actually envy you. That's
You can show tits if it's in a game, which is stupid. No, it's not.
Just saved our asses.
Is that any way to greet an old friend?
I really wish my armor looked
greeted
cool.
you with a pleasant view. Now tell me what brings you here.
Jalen Harris says, "Whoa, those tits! I love those tits so much."
Hey.
I'm looking for a certain young woman.
Protoculturati says, "I dare anyone to watch an eye patch wolf video on anything slower than 1.5x speed. I dare you." I hear that. I hear that. And that's what makes. Oh god, that's a terrible accent. And that's what I can't do it. What is he, Irish? I can't do his fucking accent at all.
I've never watched a Super Eye Patch Wolf video in my life.
He has a similar accent to Matthew Matosis, but he talks very slow and very dramatically. Like, I don't know if this was like a part of like what inspired him, but he's cited my CU Space Cowboy video that I did on Cowboy Bebop as like one of his favorite videos, and all of his videos have the same cadence as that one. But the thing about my See You Space Cowboy video is that I recorded it unscripted and drunk, and that's why I'm talking slow and emotional. He scripts his videos and does it that way on purpose to make it emotional and, like, slow enough that kids can understand it, you know? So, but his videos, he's always like, one of the things that really stuck with me about watching Akira for the first time is that, yes, it was really interesting, but also it really made me consider my place within the world. Like, he talks like that the whole way through in most of his videos. And like the writing is fine, but it's just like it's hard to listen to.
My rate rises with every word you speak. I'm not sure you can afford the information anymore.
You're pricklier than I remembered.
How feel about The Witcher 3 playing about 1 hour? I mean, we didn't start from the beginning of the game here.
Yeah, I've played this game a lot. It's good.
Give me that look. I know it's Siri we're talking about.
I don't think he really speaks slowly at all. You're really exaggerating. I don't think I'm exaggerating. When I watch Eyepatch Wolf videos, it feels like I'm in a slowed down version of reality. I mean, not all of them are mega slow. Some are definitely slower than others. Whatever the last one I watched was extremely slow.
Well, I tried to ask him, of course, about everything.
Of course.
Oh, but you know how elves are. He asked many more questions than he answered.
Eyepatch Wolf sounds like he's reading his children a bedtime story. I mean, that's his intention. Like, he literally does it that way because he's trying, like, he explained it to me at Anime Expo that, like, he thinks that most of the audience are, like, young people who are watching these types of videos because they want to have, like, a friend. They want to, like, hang out with someone in video form. And so he tries to, like, speak in this very inviting way that, like, is sort of personal and feels almost unscripted and emotional and, like, you know, like he's right there with you. It's a smart decision he's making there, but it's hard for me to watch. I have heard of Krasdorf. I kind of put him on in the beginning, and then he betrayed me by being, I don't know, generally salty about my existence, I guess. He's alright. I liked his video where he did like an hour-long video shitting on Eyepatch Wolf. Or just, I guess I should say critiquing. It wasn't like a drama video or anything, but it was pretty enjoyable. Victor Rupp says, I literally cannot watch Jeff without 2x speed. I can't watch Jeff at any speed. Do you have any thoughts on the new Pokemon? We're probably going to do a podcast about it tomorrow. Or whenever. Ooh, Zen Huxtable's coming over tomorrow. So he and I can do acid again! This time we're gonna do 2 tabs each! Hopefully trip balls. I've earned it. I have not seen any Nakey Jakey videos. Do you think the new Pokemon games will make the Switch sell a fuck ton? Absolutely. I mean, the Switch has already sold a fuck ton, but Pokemon is a big system seller.
Yeah, the Switch is fucking crushing it, which is pretty great.
The real question is, will they drop the price? Like, because if they drop the price right before Pokemon comes out, I feel like that would make it even more likely to fucking sell like crazy.
I mean, I don't think they will. They probably drop the price after Pokemon comes out.
Yeah.
Because Pokemon, like, you don't need a fucking sale if you have a Pokemon game. That is the added incentive everyone's gonna need. But once that fizzles out, that's probably when they'll probably start dropping the price. I'm surprised they haven't already. It's just the systems was cheaper than the competition from the get-go. And it's just the demand is there, so nobody gives a shit. There's no incentive for them to drop the price. They'll just be making less money.
Sandalwood Arcade says, I usually speed up the PCP when it hits the voicemails.
That's unfortunate. Wandering in the dark.
What more engaging, The Witcher 3 or Mass Effect as Western RPG?
Oh,
Well,
Mass Effect for sure.
yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen our favorite games podcast, we both have Mass Effect on our 9-ball. There ain't no Witcher in there. Not that I've played them. Will Cider ever become a guest on the PCP? Probably not. He doesn't really know anybody else in the PCP besides me.
You ain't safe unless you got a Gabrielle, the autocrat.
Ugh.
Have a look at your stock.
Need to get to level 5. Leveling up in this game is really slow.
So long.
Speaking really slow, my brain is moving really slow. We've only been going for a fucking hour and 1 minute. I'm ready to fucking fall asleep. I'm so tired. People, you need to give us subscriptions to wake me up. I need the excitement of hearing that I made money. I need to hear my own voice grumbling about becoming games. Hey, there we go.
Wow.
New _ subscribe to Twitch Prime.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
I'm amazed that worked.
If we could just get one more, I might be able to fix my back posture again and not be stuck in this weird position. Discount Gumshoe says, I did send you assholes money. Thank you. When? I don't remember that. Was that this stream? You just lost a $15 Patreon, did you? Well, that happens pretty much every day. I lose and gain patrons constantly. You're probably going to see the Patreon take a massive fucking dip tomorrow because it's the start of a month and that's what happens. Are you and Jeff still friends? I typed Jeff intentionally instead of Jeff. He typed it with a J instead of a G. No. Jeff and I are by no means friends. I would not say that we were ever particularly friends. We were more like associates or work buddies, I guess. I was never like close with him. I never like talked to him really outside of the context of doing projects together. But I would say, if anything, we are some sort of bitter foils taking pot shots from a distance. Well, I really just I just shit on him openly, but he's like, I think he's taken like a Drake policy, you know, of like he won't ever like come right out and just like
and he has
say
his
girlfriend
like post a lot of it too.
Yeah, like anytime he wants to take a shot at me, he'll do it through his fucking oh god, I can't think of a word I want to use that doesn't sound too harsh but conveys that I don't like her. He uses his fucking girlfriend's Twitter. His fucking what? I mean, it's not unfair to call her a cam whore, right? Like, that's what she does.
Yeah, she does it on Snapchat, so like...
Yeah, his cam whore girlfriend is how he fucking takes his pot shots at me. I used the donate button, and I guess you just don't have the Streamlab on for it. Jalen Harris's donation came through earlier.
I thought they didn't exist.
I don't see you on the. Oh wait, you hit the actual donate button. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I don't know why that doesn't fucking work on Streamlabs, but thank you for the donation. I don't know how much it is or anything because I'm on Tom's laptop.
Oh,
And it
there's
goes
a
to
PayPal
my
donation?
PayPal. Yeah.
Whoa, sick.
Not sure I like any of this.
The donation should pop up something like everything else.
Digi, can you give some detailed thoughts on the new Matthew Matosis video? I feel like I did earlier, but like just the fact that he's able to like, I just feel like nobody is more capable than he is of talking about everything from every conceivable angle, and not just like talking about what is in the game, but what possibly could have been done with the same mechanics, like why this mechanic is included, what it adds to the game, what, you know, what other options there were, and whether this was the best option, you know, like, he goes beyond just the reality of what is in the game and compares it to, like, all the theoretical possibilities of what the game could have been. And that is mad interesting. Victor Rupp says, I want to be friends with Jeff's girlfriend, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I've seen her tits. Dude, you don't... Well, yeah, they are literally fake, but, like, also, like, her pictures are also fake, because she photoshops the fuck out of them. Next time you're looking at a Tenlaid picture, study the backgrounds. Look for all the places where the walls are warped because of her overuse of the, what's the tool that does that?
I don't know, Facetune? Is that it?
Is it just Facetune? Whatever she does to her pictures, it warps the furniture in the background sometimes, and it's really fucking funny. Jalen Harris says, I've seen GF's tits, gotta say not impressed. I think everyone's seen her tits. I've seen her fucking nudes, and I don't even follow her in any capacity. They just float their way to the surface, as fake tits tend to do. This is not a first time playthrough, though Tom did not beat the game before because his save was lost.
Yeah.
After 80 hours.
Something insane like that.
Tom, do you ever regret doing these live streams with me when I start talking shit about people?
It's never trickled down to me, so... Somehow I've been involved with you through all your controversies, and none of it has ever affected me in any way, shape, or form. It's the bright side of being fucking boring and not interesting in all these things is that nobody even realizes I'm there. For better or
I
worse.
think it's one part that you don't have enough of a reputation to have it tarnished, but also that you don't hang out with, like, people who would have a problem with it. Because, like, most of the people who are, like, friends with me who I end up losing connections with over my controversies, it's not that they disagree with the thing that's happening, it's that their friends or their social circle, like, doesn't want them associating with me. And they end up prioritizing that over their relationship with me, you know? I get those kinds of, like, I can't follow you anymore because I'm, you know, my social group doesn't approve of you, so...
Cowards.
Yeah.
Oh no, something great. Oh, ugly. Yeah.
Kibbles not says, I'm so fucking sick and tired of the Photoshop. Apparently, I just made a bunch of people catch on to the fact that Michelle's tweets about funny photoshops are Tenlaid, because I think she edits them in such a way to obscure that fact, right? Like, she just cuts, like, she just shows background elements that are warped, but she doesn't show...
Did she tweet about them? I know that she's,
Apparently,
like,
several
literally,
people have
like,
said so.
tweeted at Tenlaid or, like, commented on her
That's
pictures
funny as
and
fuck.
stuff. Mr. Civical's, like, talking shit on Twitter about you.
Why? Because I didn't like his video?
Because, and now I'm unpledging from Digi. There is no point in expecting rants if he does not have the decency to watch the entire video.
Get fucked. It says in my fucking thing that I will watch enough to rant about it. Like, he can suck my dick. I mean, I knew he was gonna unsubscribe eventually anyways. So he was just doing it to get smoke blown up his ass about his own videos.
There's something here. Something that distorts
Would it be bad if I commented and told him his title?
the side problem.
No, I could do that myself. Although it doesn't look like he's tagging me in whatever these tweets are.
No, he's not.
Coward.
I'll not risk that again.
I have no, not crying over that loss.
But we still stand a chance.
Have you gone completely mad?
Everyone who wants to fund pledges from Digibro should pledge to me.
Do you know about Mr. Cynical? He's that guy whose name is just a period. And he has a picture of Rika, the purple-haired girl from Higurashi. He's like a long-time comment. He's all over the place in comment sections, and he argues like a robot, and I've always found him quite annoying. But he started patroning me to get me to talk about his videos. And the first one he did is a video called In Defense of Lolly Art and Lolicon. And it's basically, like, I just agreed with it. So I was like, yeah, watch this video. It's really good. It makes all these great points. And he was like, oh, he was like super excited about my rant about it. He was like, oh man, I'm definitely going to pledge every month to get you to keep talking about my videos. And I was just like, I guess he just wants me to talk about, like, I didn't know that he was going to expect me to always watch the whole video and enjoy it and engage with it completely. Because it says in my rant hole description, like, I will consume enough of the thing to rant about it. Like, you know, whatever amount I think is appropriate, but like, I'm going to treat it like any regular piece of media. I'm going to watch as much as I care to, drop it if I get bored, and shit on it, you know? So, you know, I feel nothing towards him complaining that I didn't finish his video, because it was boring as shit.
Something akin to a postbox for mages. Much safer than an ordinary letter, which anyone can intercept en route to its recipient.
Message was definitely for Ciri, daughter of the god, Laura Doran's heir.
Indeed, it is what the elves would title Ciri. What was the bit about the sign of her sword? A riddle?
Yeah, not a hard one now. Not if you know Ciri named her sword Tidel, Swallow.
Come now. Who aside from you would know that?
Might have been the point. The elven mage secured the passage, hid it, so that only Ciri could find
I am Games, you are not shilling Mark's Instagram enough. I need to see more posts, and Mark needs the Instagram sponsorships. Help the poor man out. I need to see more of his posts.
preparations. Let's hope the Wild Hunt ran into some obstacles.
Well then, let's go. Do you think
Sporktown Heroine says, I like that Jeff is really upset about people looking at his girlfriend's pictures.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The thing is, he constantly is insisting that he's not upset about it. It's like a
Yeah, I
methinks
mean-
thou dost protest too loudly kind of situation.
Okay.
Well, it's mostly that people are constantly like hammering, like people are constantly messaging him, being like, "Hey, like I jack off to your girlfriend, isn't that weird?" And he's always like, he always gets defensive about that. It's like, you know, guys, obviously it doesn't bother me, but it's like, well, then why do you have to say anything about it? Just fucking be on your merry way.
Yeah.
Is that your phone going off? You getting more doctor calls?
Actually, yes. Hello? They hung up on me. Good fuck.
Digi or Tom, have either of you watched Conan? Because he did a clueless gamer on this game and it was pretty funny. I did not watch Conan.
I don't watch Conan. Why? Why you know? Why would you do that to me? You just kill it.
This confused me because this guy said Geraldo, but he meant Geralt. He said Geralt's transformation from Polish cultural icon into a gaming legend at this point. He's in a game that sold over 33 million copies, is in Soul Calibur and Monster Hunter. If he's in Smash, he'll be Mario levels of popular. I don't know about that, but not everyone in Smash is as popular as Mario. Mr. Game & Watch is in Smash. Are you interested in seeing different political perspectives and analysis of art, or do you think politics should be attempted to be left out of critique or something? No, absolutely, politics should be poured into critique. I like to see political perspectives. I just think that most of them are dumb and badly thought out and annoying.
I guess it depends on what's being
We were just talking about this. Discount Gumshoe says, all Razor Fist ever does on his channel is bitch about Hideo Kojima and bitch about how Witcher is stolen from Elric. That is his whole channel. Tom, you were just telling me how he's full of shit. Do you want to explain?
I mean, if as someone who's read Elric von Ebony and also read the Witcher books and played the Witcher games, the plagiarism that Razorfist talks about is that the main character is called the White Wolf and he has white hair, and the similarities literally end there. Geralt is like this kind of like medieval-esque kind of James Bond character who like womanizes with everybody and like gets laid all the time and like is kind of cynical and an asshole and kind of like, you know, a gruff man's kind of man. Elric is a fucking malnourished, cursed elf sort of person who has a living sword that consumes his soul, and he like is a pseudo-philosopher and is an emo boy who's sad about everything. And he's like a banished prince. The characters have nothing in common. Archetypally, personality, everything is different. They just happen to both be called the White Wolf. Him because he's fucking the white, that's his like sigil and shit, and Elric is like because he's a fucking albino. He's an albino prince. And he goes around with a cursed sword and like sacrifices souls to the god of death. And it's fucking cool.
I'm glad we got this out of you, because you've clearly been sitting on it for some time.
He's just so fucking wrong. And it's just like...
He just likes to be a fucking contrarian. He just likes that he can hate The Witcher because everyone loves it and insists that it's
guess,
amazing.
But it's like, out of all the reasons... Talk about maybe the game, if you don't like how the
This is a
game
man who
plays.
started his career with a video called Final Fantasy VII is bad. Like, that is Razorfist's MO.
I guess.
Joro Bitterthorn says, hey Digi, have you ever heard of Minds.com? Their CEO went on Joe Rogan, was spreading the gospel of decentralize all the things and dat and stuff.
Yeah, I have a Minds account, I just very rarely use it. The problem I have with Minds is the problem I have with all these other free speech platforms, that the only people on there are like people super political that I don't care about interacting with, really. So it's just like, I mean, I could go on there, but what's the point? You know, and because the people on something like Minds, they're all about free speech, it's like, well, I just want to post my art. Nobody cares about art. They're there to talk about how bad SJWs are. So it's just like, I'm not going to make any traction, and there's going to be nothing on this site that interests me until it breaches the mainstream, which is unlikely.
Do you like Dead Space?
I haven't played Dead Space.
I do not like Dead Space.
I'm not a horror game kind of guy, usually, so I kind of don't play those types of games in general. I don't know where this fucking...
Protoculturati says, I think the pedantic is someone who does not associate herself anymore with Digi on Twitter or YouTube because of her SJW friends and audience. It's a sensible decision, I think, but she's still secretly moderate Digi subreddit and sometimes even comments. Pedro is in my Discord, like, all the time. I mean, I don't really think there's much that she would have to interact with me on Twitter or YouTube. Like, I think she's got her own shit going on, her own social circles, and I don't really post that much on Twitter anymore, except to advertise my videos. I don't know if she's, like, necessarily trying to hide the connection with me, but, like, again, she's in my Discord, like, every day. Digi, do you listen to Brazilian music? Don't think I know any. Swollen here says Razorfish is full of shit generally. Razorfish.
Alright. I can get behind that, I guess.
Tom Fist's Razor Fist live on air.
Yeah, that's me, I got him.
Kajoro Bitterthorn says good content, annoying, retarded politics equals H-Bomber guy. Hard agree. Tom, what do you like about Alien Girl from My Hero? She's like the most forgettable character in the show, and that's saying something considering every character in that show is forgettable.
Well, I feel like talking to you about any of this would be a waste of time if you hate the show that much anyway.
That was Jalen Harris.
Well, Yeah.
Jon Snow is called the White Wolf too. Someone called GRRM.
It's true. Gay, I don't like it.
Anyone else watch Alex Jones talk about aliens on Joe Rogan the other day?
He was back on Joe Rogan?
I guess so.
Oh god, I gotta watch it then.
I've never seen a Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's podcast is pretty sweet.
Oh, we got a subscriber, Mike98CS. I did not see that happen.
Woo!
Here it happened.
Approve, appreciate, love, thank you.
Have you guys checked out that NoClip website, which allows you to explore some GameCube and Wii game maps in your browser?
No, I've retweeted something about it. It looked fucking sick.
Didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I will be checking that out.
Discount Gumshoe says, as annoying as Razor Fist is with Elric, he is fucking wrong about Hideo Kojima and Metal Gear Solid, and he refuses to shut his stupid pasty Arizonian mouth about it. I mean, again, like, if Razor Fist, like, it's not that I don't think that he really believes those things about those games, but if he has a contrarian opinion, he goes out of his way to bring it up as often as possible because he's trying to scare off his audience, basically. Like, he's trying to piss you off. He's trying to make people riled up about his contrarian opinions because he hates those people. Like, he hates that people like these things that he hates, so he's going to continually bring it up and continually pour salt in the wound and turn the screw on it, you know, because he can't give up. Like, he can't concede that ground. And, like, it's one part like a weird pride thing, and another part just like a, you know, a commitment to abrasiveness. It's just funny because I feel like there are people who will have no problem with 90% of what he says because you agree with it, but like wherever you feel he crosses the line, you're like, this, you know, he's great about everything except for this thing. But like somebody else is always going to have a different 20%.
Sure.
Like there's going to be another viewer
That's
who's
just
like,
like
oh, he's totally right about The Witcher and fucking Metal Gear, but he's totally wrong about this other thing. You know, it's
But he's just not a lip cook enough.
Should we look for
it's just all about being very hard-nosed about whatever he thinks and bringing it up as often as possible to keep reminding you that, you know, you are not him. Do you guys watch Jim Sterling?
Yeah.
I used to watch him back on The Escapist, but like his videos are so long-winded and they don't need to be. Like any of his videos could be like a third of the fucking length and make the same point, and I get tired of that. And I feel like the videos are just getting longer and longer.
Do you think it's a mind game of some sort?
Have you attempted to watch any of Mahler's content? Never heard of him.
God, something's happening.
When is the Nino collab? When is the next Fantano collab? When is the Pedantic Romantic collab? How's the mixtape with Endless Jest going? None of those things are happening, to my knowledge.
Anything like that ever
When is the YMS collab full 3-hour review of Alita?
Well back as
We both already made videos on Alita. There's nothing more to say.
happened?
he hated being me, felt uncomfortable. Doppler's a kind-hearted by nature.
How often do you see a show and just think this seems like it would be cool if the production was good? I've seen, you know, there's definitely a bunch of examples. I mean, if it's really good, it can shine through a bad production, but there are some shows that I wish looked better. I can't think of any off the top of my head. When did you stop liking Fantano? I still like Fantano. Endless Jess says, I think it's more that he hates people who would judge someone for opinions in general. He's pretty chill on live streams when his friends like stuff he doesn't. Yeah, I guess that makes... I mean, yeah, I think his channel is always like a character. Like, it's always... He's always hot and super abrasive because, you know, it's like... It's kind of like, fuck you, I'm not going to concede. Like, this is how I feel, and you guys trying to bully me into not feeling this way because you agree with me on everything else is not going to make me change my mind. But I do think that, like, like he's knowingly putting those things into as many videos as possible where it has no business. Like he'll slag on Kojima in a totally unrelated politics video just to piss people off and remind you that he feels that way, just so that you can't. It's almost like he doesn't want anybody to completely agree with him, which I think is admirable, honestly. Like I kind of like that. I like that he does it. Like you know, personally, I have no stake in any of the things that he does that about. Like, I don't give a shit about Hideo Kojima because I haven't played any Metal Gear Solid games. So like, I also would not care if somebody shit on something I like that way.
I mean, as someone who likes Kojima, like he makes some of the points are valid. Kojima is kind of a psychopath, so. What the fuck?
Discount Gumshoe says, true, that said, you shouldn't watch Razor for his video game opinions, watch him for his politics. His actual political rants are so well researched and thorough. And yeah, his live streams are fucking dope, and his live streams are him at his best. I've never sat through his live streams because what little I saw seemed boring, but I guess I have to check him out.
I mean, I just don't watch live streams in general because I always assume they're boring.
Yeah.
I just assume they're like mine, which are this.
I do vastly prefer his political rants over his video game content. Mahler is the guy who made the 8-hour response to H-Bomber Guy's Dark Souls 2 video. He's currently making a 15-hour series on The Force Awakens. That sounds excessive as fuck. What the fuck happened to Tom's leg? Coming from It's Great to Be a YouTuber vid off Digi After Dark. Yeah, I mentioned that you were dying in my Sad Boy video.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened. I just have sciatic nerve damage, and it makes walking pretty much impossible now. And it's just been slowly getting worse. I have an MRI tomorrow, so I can figure out what's wrong with my spine and my leg and shit, hopefully. That's it. That's the story so far.
Jesse says, I only hate that he hates Metal Gear because you need to really love it to appreciate how crap it's become. That's a good point. Wow, Digi won't even say bless you to his own wife unsubscribed. Did you sneeze?
I did.
I never say bless you because I just never internalized that as a thing to say. Growing up, I used to, because I was such an edgelord atheist, I used to kind of get offended when people said bless you to me. I'd be like, don't do that. I worship Satan. Don't bless me. It hurts.
God, you just not go this
I
way.
always say bless you.
Yeah. Most people do. Most people do it instinctively, but I just never grew up with that as a thing that people said in my house.
What the fuck is happening?
One of the most amazing things about MGS1 is it's a Japanese video game from 1998 where the English dub was good. Did Kojima, like, did he handpick the actors or anything like that? Was he involved in the dub? Was
I'm not
something
sure.
he would do?
I mean, it does sound like what he would do. I would assume yes, but I don't know how that is. Well, I think maybe I shouldn't have come down.
Does that mean Tom has to get a leg brace and limp around like Kazuhira Miller now because that's dope as fuck?
Maybe I'll get a cool cane and be one of those guys. Wow, why
Does it piss you off when people call your Asterisk War Sucks video a 12-part review? No, that's literally what it is. Have you looked into playing / streaming the Yakuza series? Yakuza 0 was a soft reboot and is a perfect intro game into the series. It goes on sale frequently. Yeah, I want to play the Yakuza games. I have the first one on PS2. I played like 5 or 6 hours of it and it was pretty fun. Had some pretty bad load times though. MGS1 literally blew my Zoomer mind into a million pieces.
Good.
Well, now I know what distorted my effort at teleportation. This very portal.
Yo, Digi, you think you could either upload the rant videos over the course of the month or unlist them and list them again when they are all uploaded? Watch the last video I did, the one that explains, I explain everything in that. I gotta fucking piss.
The Elven Mage prepared this passage for Ciri. Come on now.
letting out some rancid fucking kale farts tonight.
That's unfortunate.
Tobe, did you finish Neo?
No, I've not. I feel like I probably still have a long way to go in that game. Stuck on the last boss. But I haven't tried since the last stream, so.
And that would be that. I knew we'd manage.
That's so? Make sure and tell me beforehand next time.
My intuition's a fine instrument, Witcher. Don't underestimate it. I've some very good feelings about you, for instance. In several dimensions.
What's the edgiest thing you believed as a teenager? That I was literally God.
Well, I can't top that.
What is the edgiest thing you believed as a teenager?
Ah. Probably some conspiracy theory shit about aliens and crap.
What has May cooked in your Instant Pot so far? Also, do you have an Instant Pot? We do, and she's cooked basically everything in it. The Instant Pot it's one of those like life solution machines where it just makes everything well. You can cook like a lot of things that are ordinarily very complicated to cook. It will cook in a different but also good way. For instance, ribs. You can just throw a rack of ribs in there and cook it, and they will fucking fall off the bone, and it's delicious. You can cook a whole chicken in there. It's really good for as a rice cooker. I mean, it basically is a rice cooker, but like an extreme version.
Depends what she wants.
Imagined it, how it will transpire. What will she say? What will she look like? I'm sorry. Forgetting.
Did you? What are your plans for March? On the 7th, I'm going to LA for a week to hang out with my parents. Other than that, I have no idea.
Don't worry. We'll get there.
Hey Digi and or Tom, I am moving into a studio apartment and I was thinking of just getting a Japanese futon set to save space rather than use my floor space on a bed. Is that retarded? What are your opinions? That's not retarded at all. Go for it.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I slept on the floor for a very long time on a futon mattress. It was fine. Have you read Screenwriting 101 by Film Crit Hulk? I read a bunch of it, but like it is very much 101. It was kind of basic for me. Like I didn't get as much out of it as I did out of his usual articles that are a lot deeper and more specific.
Meaning you ever thought they might have?
Is an Instant Pot a slow cooker? No, it's the exact opposite of that. That's why it's called an Instant Pot and not a slow pot.
Frozen before they could attack.
This is a fucking really fucking good point.
Mm-hmm.
Slightest Ediblia says, masturbating to anime doesn't make you a cartoon, so masturbating to gay porn doesn't make you gay. Very
True.
well put.
It's true.
No arguments here, I guess.
Do you have any plans for future music videos? No. I have ideas, but not plans.
Well, that was a weird blurry effect. You know what's weird? I played through almost the entirety of this game. I still don't really understand who the Wild Hunt are. Because they're never really talked about until this game. There's no mention in The Witcher 2.
I heard you become Japanese if you have a kotatsu.
The white frost, made from the hunt summer.
We were planning to get one.
Blowing through.
We never did.
Would have been really nice.
Yeah, it would have been a good idea, especially in this fucking house.
I would have never left it
I've run out of chat.
No.
We've got 80 viewers and nobody's asking any questions anymore. Nobody ever brings me gifts anymore. Are you familiar with that?
No.
That clip? Oh my god. You ever play Star Fox Adventures?
Yes.
Do you remember that there's this big like statue guy that you have to talk to like a few hours into the game? And like it's built up to for a long time that you have to talk to this statue and like it will tell you where to go. But when you go to talk to him, he just spins around and goes, "Nobody ever brings me gifts anymore!" And that's all he says. And you have to extrapolate from that you have to go find a gift to give to him so that he will help you. But it's fucking hilarious. If anybody wants to hear me overreacting to it and saying it about 100 times, go watch the Star Fox Adventures Let's Play on DigiBros. There's a Digi and Friends Let's Play, I believe. Zargi says, Digi, here's a question. What the fuck? I don't know, dude.
Yeah, what the fuck?
ZCrust1 says, explain why this game is good and why I should play it.
I don't know, it's just kind of cool.
It's your boiling down of like a 90-hour RPG.
What else? What other reason is there? It all boils down to that.
Yeah. In LA, live stream Pokemon card openings with Mark and play a few games with each other. Why do we have to do that in LA? Witcher 3, more like Bitcher 3. When are you gonna play the entirety of MGS? I'm glad that made you laugh. Oh boy.
Metal Gear would be way shorter than this.
I don't understand what people like about most of this game's story because all the cutscenes look so janky.
And the presentation's not great.
What's your favorite meme to come from anime? I don't know. The first thing that comes to mind is people die when they are killed, but it's not even that I'm such a huge fan of that. It's just that it's like what comes to mind. I think meme from anime. The Wild Hunt is very briefly a major plot element in the books before being forgotten about forever. They're elves from another dimension that need Ciri's powers to escape the apocalypse.
Yeah, Ciri is like a big part of like the books and shit, but like she's not even introduced in the games until this one, but she's the focal point of the entire story. It's one of those things where it's like you really should just read the books to understand what the fuck's going on, but I did read the books, and the problem is they're all translated, so they're just janky, because you're not reading them in their native language. The flow just isn't great. Either that or the guy's just not a great writer, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Digi, which do you like more, drinking or smoking cigs? Easily drinking. Smoking cigarettes is not really that pleasant.
Ugh.
Tom, is the detective vision in this game obnoxious? I want to play the game next, and I usually hate these kinds of alternative vision modes in games.
It is incredibly obnoxious. What you have to do is, I just found out playing through it this time, you can go into the settings and turn off the fisheye distortion, and it's much more manageable at that point. Which is what I've done.
What's worse, going to the doctor or going to the dentist?
Depends what you're going to the doctor for, but generally dentist. I've been to the dentist since high school.
I've been to the dentist about 100 times since high school, and it's not that bad. I mean, the dentist office that I was going to back in Virginia Beach, which is the last time I've been, so it's been a couple of years, but it was a really good dentist office, and my trips were always short and relatively pleasant. The only part that sucks is when you have to get, like, fucking numbing shit injected into your face.
That always sucks.
You can pass. That took a great deal of power.
Oh no.
If you can't
Are you excited for Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah, it looks fucking sick.
I've deliberately not looked at any of it because I don't want to even try to get hype until the game is out and I know what it actually is.
Thought you just didn't get hype.
Well, that's how I avoid getting hype, is by not looking at things.
Maybe I can try.
Leave it to me.
The thing about Witcher is, it is not actually a good game. It's just fun to imagine sticking your penis in Triss and Yen. Literally nothing else. Witcher is a meme.
I mean, Triss is pretty hot. I'll give you that.
Was your JoJo video a mistake? In the end, you made the Sad Boy video as a result, which spiked your Patreon money. I didn't even think it was a mistake before that. I mean, I thought it was a good video. It's really entertaining. It became kind of a meme. It's unfortunate that it led to a bunch of bullshit on Twitter, but like, I'm not really supposed to be on Twitter anyways. So that's just my fault for being on Twitter.
Man, why the Wild Hunt looks so cool? And we look so gay.
Hey Games, what do you think about Shadow Warrior?
Have it on GOG? I've never played it.
I've never played it either.
The new one. I haven't played the old one either. But I'm referring to the new one.
What are your thoughts on adult coloring books?
Pretty dumb.
They're fun. It takes fucking forever to actually finish one, so I've never like finished a whole picture. Like when you actually set to the task, you realize that there are so many fucking things to fill in. Which is kind of the point. It's just meant to be something mindless for you to do for occupying time if you haven't discovered YouTube yet.
I mean, if you're an adult and you haven't discovered YouTube,
Well, you know, it's for people who are like middle-aged, for the most main audience. People who are too old.
damn it, he's
For the
regenerating
internet.
all his HP.
Did the man who invented college go to college?
How do you think you got the idea?
That's the best response to that I've ever heard. Have you ever heard that meme before? It's a lyric from, I think, a Hobson song. This pretentious ass rapper who literally thought he was saying something smart with that line, and people have been like clowning on him ever since. Could you tell me the difference between the Devilman ending? I skimmed the last chapter and the ending is pretty much the same as I recall. Well, the fact that you skimmed it is the problem. It's the delivery that makes it different.
Shit.
Digi and Friends Star Fox Adventures Episode 3. Nobody ever brings me gifts anymore! I guess I put it in the title. If you could change one thing about the YouTube copyright system, what would it be? Get rid of it. Also listen to Digi's rant about Char Aznavour in one of his Star Fox Let's Play. That's episode 4 of the Star Fox, the original Star Fox Let's Play, I believe. Play Shadow Warrior, you cowards. I want to play Dusk more than I want to play Shadow Warrior. Dusk looks fucking awesome. You missed Kevin's Doghouse, did you? We might go back. We might move back to Virginia Beach. It's looking like the best option. So, there's a chance that's happening. Play Shadow Warrior 2. It's like a mix of Neo and Doom 2016 in first person. You guys will absolutely love it. I can't even imagine what that would be.
Sounds very weird.
I don't understand Digi's sense of humor. What was I laughing at? What was the last thing I laughed at?
Was it what I responded to for the college thing?
Oh yeah. That was hilarious. Unless he's thinking of nobody ever brings me gifts anymore.
There's some context that I feel you need to fully appreciate.
I think it's just funny on its face, though. It's just like a loud I mean, it definitely helps if you have a mental image of the character, because he's this big, dopey fuck who just screams at you in a thick Scottish accent about bringing him gifts out of nowhere. Like, you literally talk to this statue and it just spins around and screams at you. It's, yeah, I guess you do need the context to fully appreciate it. Did you ever bring yourself to realize that you're wrong about kanji and try to memorize them? I have tried, but it's like, you have to do a lot of work.
Damn it.
Have you guys ever played the Metro games? And if not, are you interested in Metro Exodus?
Jim Sterling said Metro Exodus sucked. I haven't played any of the Metro games. I do want to play the first one.
I played a bit of the first one, and it was not my type of game at all. It had a lot of cutscenes where you still have control over your character, but you're in a boardroom looking at people talk for 15 minutes at the start of the game, and that pissed me off. And then I got out into, like, I think I kept dying at, like, the first enemy encounter in the game, because I was just, I don't know, I think I was just doing it wrong or something. It has no HUD, also, which is confusing. Have you ever snorted cocaine? It's pretty nice, trust me, but don't do it too often, though. It will cost you. I have not.
If you're hiding something.
Dude, Digi's humor in that video is pretty much the same kind of humor that JoJo has. You would think that JoJo fans should understand that. Well, you know, you would think that JoJo fans would understand that Part 5 looks like shit as compared to the manga, but most of them haven't even read the fucking manga, so whatever.
It mentions the village witches venturing into Crookback Bog at times to liaise between the villagers and
Since Patreon and Twitch are becoming a better place to earn money for creators, do you think YouTube will die soon? No, because so many people on Patreon are still using YouTube as the means to upload their shit. And Twitch just offers a very different service from YouTube, and like, not everybody can do. The only reason we are capable of streaming like this is that, like, I can talk for literally forever, no matter what.
I confronted the thing directly.
Are you still boycotting Google? You still use the term Google it in your videos. Man, it's impossible to boycott Google with any degree of seriousness.
I do it to the best of my abilities. I don't use Google search.
I mean, I literally work for YouTube. Like, I make money for Google. Like,
no, YouTube loses them money, so.
Oh, that's fair.
Your guerrilla campaign, everybody become YouTubers.
Yeah,
I mean, I
Google
probably
search.
am costing them money considering I upload like 53 videos in a day. It kept fucking, like, it wasn't doing this the whole time, but for a little while, it kept logging me out randomly.
Please stop.
Yeah, like, it was just logging me out, like, over and over again. It was pissing me off.
You just need to make a new series called Fuck Google, and it's you just recording your entire day from your office camera, just uploading that at the end of the day, every day. So you have, like, Fuck Google 4,786, and it's just like...
shit. All in 4K.
Yeah, just... I wonder how much of their servers I'm destroying right now. How many servers in Google now are just for me?
Oh, that's a great idea. But I will say that, like, as much as I have problems with YouTube, there is no other platform where I could upload 53 fucking videos in, like, 4 hours. Like, the ability to rapidly upload tons of shit. Like, even a site like BitChute, you know, while it is functional, it takes fucking forever to upload shit on there. YouTube is, like, fucking 10 seconds for a gig, you know? It's great for that.
You'd think so poorly of me. Perhaps you do bear a grudge against sorceresses.
Can't imagine where that comes from.
Have you played Mother 3? Not yet, but I want to.
Dangerous. But they say the crones
I haven't even played Earth now. I haven't played, like, any Super Nintendo games. I never had one as a kid.
From that chapel, one must follow a
And I never will. Sega Genesis for life.
They didn't read you bedtime stories at Clare Morgan. All normal folk know that witches live in gingerbread houses.
What internet provider do you use? Is it good or shit? I am on Verizon, and it's great because we got Fios here. From one of the few places that has the Fios.
Alright then. As a start,
Have you guys heard of the game Biomutant, which is a Zootopia, Mad Max, and nature documentary looking game?
Yes, I'm actually really excited for it. I want to play it.
I have not heard of it at all.
The trailer was pretty cool.
Digi, why haven't May answered me on Instagram yet? I told her you looked like a snack in one of your rants. Still no reply.
I told you. I'm pretty sure I told you that somebody said that on Instagram.
Well, you didn't answer him.
Well,
I don't know
mean,
what you're supposed to
I
say to
saw
that.
it.
Must have burned these notes himself. The Hunt wouldn't have bothered.
I mean,
People are talking about how they love that girl's voice and how it's an ASMR experience.
really? I thought her voice was off-putting.
Who's your favorite English dub actor? There's got to be one you like.
Big Fiona.
No. What's her name?
Kodasha?
Yeah, Laura Bailey. She's pretty good. She's not good in everything, but she's good in a lot of things.
She's gonna be the main character, I think.
And she probably already was in the original.
Probably. I think. Don't quote me. I'm probably wrong.
What are some must-buy consoles for people that give a fuck about the whole experience meme? Do you mean like, what do you mean? What is the experience meme? Do you know what he's talking about?
No.
It's an illusion. I sensed it as well. Expected we might run into such
Does ASMR do anything to you? I felt the ASMR effect, but not from like an ASMR video. And also, I don't necessarily like it. What?
Good news. There's fires and gritty.
Yeah, I know. That's why. Remember, I was telling you that like I thought it was everywhere because I had it in Virginia Beach and we had it here. So I just thought that like most cities had it, but it's literally like 8 cities, and it just so happens that Virginia Beach and Massachusetts
I mean,
and
it's becoming
Boston
more
are
and
like.
more cities. Like, I think finally in Rochester and some places they're having it, but like,
If you go to the website for Fios, it literally is only 8 cities that have
I mean,
it.
is it just Verizon Fios?
Yeah, that's the only one that exists.
must be an exit.
Fios is a Verizon brand.
Yeah, but there's like other like fiber optic internet
Wait, there's
connections.
still the
I think there's like a Google one, but they haven't.
Yeah.
None of them are even as big. Like none of them have been rolled out like in any serious way in America. But
Only,
like just by
metropolitan
sheer
areas.
coincidence, it's like Virginia Beach, Newport News, Boston, some other city in Massachusetts, and then like maybe one city in Pennsylvania, and that's like it.
Come then.
It was just like pure coincidence that I've lived in places that have it. But yeah, one more reason to move to Virginia
Yeah.
Beach. Keep the fucking Fios.
Keeping the tabs. If you're gonna upload like 60 fucking random videos, it might be a
Yeah.
necessity.
It might be. What's the length limit of what I can get you to watch for the rant wormhole? It really depends. Like,
Looks like another damned
no matter how long it is, if I think it sucks, I'm just gonna drop it, and then my rant is gonna be that it sucks. Like, I'm not going to obligate myself to watch something for any certain amount of time. Like, if it's something good, I will, you know, sample it for however long I feel appropriate, and then
Alright.
talk about it from that point. But
I'm afraid I can't replicate its sophistication.
and then maybe I'll watch the rest later.
Just translate it to make sense.
4 guardians, 4 flames, standing proud.
Do you guys think Xbox will get its shit together next gen?
No.
No.
I think they're just gonna pivot toward PC gaming. I think PC gaming is getting accessible enough now, and consoles are getting complicated enough that
Close to his
they're in a better position to push their PC install base than try and keep Xbox going. Like, they've made 0 efforts to make the Xbox a compelling option for the last like 4 years. Every exclusive they've ended up porting to PC to try and make extra money. Halo is gonna be on PC now, so that was like the one thing that Xbox had. Like, if literally you buy an Xbox One to play Master Chief Collection, and that's it. Like, there's no other reason to own an Xbox. They don't even get the fucking DLC first like they used to last gen.
This is
PlayStation
mega
did.
awkward, by the way.
Just having them stand there and look
Yeah,
at each
Geralt
other.
looks pretentious as shit in this particular pose.
Yeah.
Eager007 says, Digi Black Lagoon's dub is better than sub. Don't act like awesome dubs don't exist. Hard disagree. I think Black Lagoon's dub is obnoxious and retarded. Have you watched Kare Kano dubbed? It's pretty good. I'd say it's on par with Cowboy Bebop and Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't like the Cowboy Bebop dub over the sub either. Like, I don't get why people act like it's just a matter of course that it's better dubbed. It's not. It's, like, it's pretty good, but, like, the thing is that, like, just like with any other dub, like the biggest problem with dubs is that even if you get one where the main cast is pretty good acting, the side characters are still gonna sound like dick. Like, watch episode 2 of Cowboy Bebop and listen to, like, the dog nappers. They sound fucking ridiculous.
Seems we did something wrong.
Or even the girl from the first episode, like the girl who gets killed. She sounds like a fucking, like a racist caricature of a fucking Latina woman. Like, it's not good.
Description again.
4 guardians, 4 flames, standing proud in a line. First, to light his fire, dared not march on the end. The second, beside the first, played a woeful lament. The third...
How cool would it be if they made a Fooly Cooly game that was like DMC or Bayonetta? That would be pretty interesting, actually.
played a tune. And thus they
You have to just play as Conti, or even like I don't even want it to be like literally any of the characters other than like Adamus himself. Like I just want to play as like Adamus in the body of Conti, like fighting robots.
Let's try it. Just gotta figure out the order.
Is there any Tales of game in particular that you guys are excited to analyze for your series of videos? I mean, it's just me who's doing that.
Let's try it. Just gotta
Excited for?
4 statues.
Not really.
The other.
My journey through the Tales of games is more of an intellectual curiosity than like out of thinking that they are necessarily good.
There it goes.
How cool would it be if they left Fooly Cooly alone and never made anything under the brand ever again? That would be excellent.
We lived that world for a while.
Yeah, if only we could go back. I've never seen something that sounded so immediately like a terrible idea and then was even worse than it sounded. You know? Like, Fully Progressive, as soon as they announced it, it was like, that sounds like a terrible fucking idea. And it was way worse than I could have imagined. What if Shinbo Akiyuki or Hideaki Anno or Kunihiko Ikuhara made their own Fully Cooly take? I mean, why? Why would they do that? There's no reason. The whole thing is basically the only like appeal of Fooly Cooly is what director Kazuya Tsurumaki brought to it. Like it was all his idea. Anyone else handling it, you're just making a different show. May should have replied me on Instagram with, "Yeah, I know. Wish we could share, but sadly he only goes one way. Feels bad, man." Alright. The Japanese market is focusing more on PC gaming. Do you think this will help the industry go in a better direction? Absolutely.
a movement.
Dubs don't have characters yelling "Nani!" Therefore they are garbaggio. Agreed. Why does Japan cater to autists in a way that no other country does?
Because autists make up a huge part of their population now.
Because they value the autism.
I don't know if that's even true, that they cater more to autists. Like, anime is pretty fucking niche. We have plenty of shit. Like, think about how much bigger, like, well, let me try to think of something particularly autistic. Never mind. I don't want to. I can't think of a franchise that I can't think of an argument that there's more people than just autists who like it. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is probably bigger than any individual anime. So yeah, there you go.
I mean, there's also little girls.
Not that it was
who
made
like
to
it,
cater to
though.
autists. Yeah, that's the thing. Like most of the ones I can think of, it's like, well, it's not necessarily just autists. I mean, I think of like Star Trek. That pretty much caters mostly to autists, but not exclusively. And not like it's not like necessarily an autistic show. It just appeals to those people.
And there's just a lot of autistic people into it.
Thoughts on the next Pokemon movie being CG? new PV is out. Isn't it like a remake of the first movie, but in CG?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is up with that. That is
Wait,
weird.
What is it?
They're remaking the first Pokemon movie in CG.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, they don't have any other. Nobody's there to write the scripts. They're
Who?
just like, what do we
Wait,
do?
when was this announced?
Just recently.
I mean, it's been announced for a while, but they finally like have concept art and stuff. I
Oh
guess.
no.
I do intend to finish
Oh
the Lost
no! That sounds stupid as fuck.
Yeah, it looks like ass.
Of course it does. I trust the Japanese to do 3D.
We're going.
Alright, we've crossed 2 hours. I'm tired. We gotta stop. I gotta shit. Actually, you can just keep going while I take a shit, and then we can stop. How does that sound?
That's fine.
Alright.
You should just.
But then I have to take
This is the last. If you want to donate and have Digi not know, now's the time.
About Siri in the end. Something like that. Do you intend to venture into Crookback Bog? You must tell me about it afterwards.
Don't know that I'll get the chance.
Geralt, there are 2 types of men. Those who see opportunity and take advantage.
Hell yeah.
And those who
Crew. I can't see who it is and close the laptop, but thank you, Slight something. Steam Windows blocking the rest of your name.
Besides, I've a favor to ask you. So, visit me sometime?
She's offering to let me fuck.
I'll stop by. You can be sure.
In that case, I shall be waiting.
Excellent. She's not even that hot compared to the other chicks, though. I'm going after her. Well, that was an adventure, guys. We went through that dark cave, killed some things, killed some things. That's it. Get in the boat. Forgot you can go on the boats. There's a bunch of stuff over here. Let's go exploring. Mark, you watched the Pokemon trailer, right?
Without sound, but yeah.
What did you think?
I'm hyped.
I'm excited. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm excited that it's like in Scotland.
I like how they didn't do what we were worried about with Let's Go, how everything was like blocky and not well designed. The environments look cool again.
Yeah, it looks really
God,
cool.
level 13 wraiths.
Do you have a favorite starter?
I usually hold off my thoughts on the starters until I can see all the evolutions, because like you make a commitment, so you can't just base your decision off the first guy, because you only stick with them for a couple hours.
Yeah.
You know, it's really the third form that's gonna make or break. But I'll give it to Score Bunny so far, but
Yeah, he's
just
my favorite.
just such. The other ones look pretty cool too. Oh my fucking god! I just got cleaved in one hit. Jesus Christ. So much for adventure.
Do you think Scorbunny's gonna be firefighting?
Maybe. I mean, it'd be,
Firefighting's just so OP. Like, I'm not gonna play it if there's another firefighting.
that's all it's gonna take. That one transgression, he'll ban the game forever. This game's pretty fucking hard. Enemies just blow you the fuck away if you're not careful. Wow. Someone in my Discord said I'm so fucking tired of the shitty anime with realistic shaders aesthetic. I don't know what the context was, but I do agree. Why is this taking forever to load? God damn. It was like unacceptably long. I want to go. Where was that before? I guess I'll be fucking over there, Jesus. So I'm gonna buy new gear. Fuck. I feel like I'm making the same mistake I just made before. Wow, this guy's so tough. Oh God. Oh, I guess Stephen Fall could kill me. Jesus, I cannot be over here. I'm level 5, everyone's level 18. It's too much. God damn it. Fucking died, dude.
Toxic fucking inferno.
Are you okay?
A lot.
That, it's terrifying.
I feel like I had something I was gonna come in here and zinger with, but I forgot.
Your guts are just too powerful.
Alright, everybody. Be the games you want to see. Can you say it, Tom?
Be the games you want to see. Like, comment, subscribe. Give me your money.
Oh, good one. Good zinger, Sandalwood RK said, sick nasty farts.